Hi boys and girls, today we're going to continue on with looking at the bus stop method and the formal division of two-digit numbers. So we're learning to use the formal method of division, also known as bus stop method, to solve two-digit division questions. Now you've already been doing it for 2 days and this is now your 3rd day, and today we're going to be focusing on dividing two-digit numbers by 5, so looking at questions in the 5 times table. You're going to learn this by this PowerPoint, by listening carefully, by doing the questions from the TGE textbook in your jotter, by using a times table mat to help you, by counting on your fingers up in multiples of 5, by using concrete materials if that will help you, by filming me a video on Flipgrid to show me how you're getting on, and by using your times table knowledge. So you've got lots of things to help you today. You're learning this to be successful learners who can solve division problems using a range of strategies, and to be competent individuals who can select the most appropriate strategy to solve division problems. Now, how are we going to know that we've been successful? Well, a lot of these things, boys and girls, are the same as the start of the week, but there are a few extras, so make sure that you're listening very carefully. You need to know that the number under the bus shelter is a number that we are dividing, so that's a dividend. And you also need to understand that the number on the left of the bus shelter is a number we are dividing by, which is also known as a divisor. We need to divide the tens first, then the units. So we move from left to right. And these are the new success criteria, boys and girls. You need to be able to show remainders at the end of a calculation and also carry over any remainders, which are also known as leftovers, from the tens to the units. And you need to be able to explain, well, what exactly is a remainder? Now, boys and girls, your active task, it was last week and this week as well, was to play the game The Largest Remainder, and I've included a video on your assignment of how to play that, and that is really going to help you approach these tasks, so please make sure that you've been playing that game. So let's look again then at our cookie example, and again it's asking us to share these cookies equally between the children. Now I can see that there are 7 cookies this time, and straight away I'm thinking, well hang on, 7 is not a station in the 2 times table, so how am I going to share these cookies equally? Can I give all of the cookies to Bobby and none to Serena? Well no, because that wouldn't be fair. Could I give 2 to Serena and 5 to Bobby? That wouldn't be a fair share either. So let's see how we would solve this problem. So we would still give each child 1 cookie at a time. Okay, so making sure they're both getting a fair share. I see. So each child is going to get 3 cookies each, but there's one here that's still left on the plate. It's a leftover cookie, and that's also known as a remainder, boys and girls, okay? So 7 divided by 2 is 3, because they each have 3 cookies, remainder 1, with 1 left over. So what exactly are remainders? Remainders are what is left over. As pure and simple as that. If you had 9 chocolates and you shared them between you and your mum, you would both get 4 and there would be 1 left over, 1 remainder. So let's see how an empty number line can help us to find remainders. Now if we've got a question of 14 divided by 5, we can show this on an empty number line. We can put 0 at one end and 14 at the other end. And we're wanting to jump up in 5s to see how many 5s are there in 14. So we'll do 1 jump of 5 first, and that takes us to 5. And another jump of 5, which takes us to 10. Can we fit in another jump of 5? Well, no, because that would take us to 15. So I've got 1, 2 jumps of 5, and I've got a remainder here, I've got a leftover, and it's this amount here from 10 to 14. So 10 add what makes 14? 10 in my head, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14, okay, it's the remainder of 4 there. So you show this as doing 2 remainder 4. So there are 2 5s in 14 and then there's 4 left over. Let me show you another example. This time I've got 26 divided by 5. So I'm going to write 0 here and 26 here. And I want to see, well, how many 5s are there in 26? So I'm going to do one jump of 5, which will take me to 5. Another will take me to 10. Another will take me to 15. Another one would take me to 20. Another one would take me to 25. And, oh, hang on, if I did another jump of 5, it would take me to 30, and that's too far. So let me count how many jumps of 5 I have. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps of 5. But I'm not dividing 25 by 5, I'm dividing 26 by 5. And I need to remember that there's a leftover. So I need to know 25 adds what is 26. 25 in my head, 26. Oh, it's 1. So I've got 5 remainder 1. Okay, so that's how empty number lines can be used to help us as well. Now, boys and girls, I want you to have a go at doing some questions on your own using one of the strategies that we've spoke about. But before you do that, I just want to go over one more way you can figure out these questions using a times table mat to help you. So you can see that my first question is 13 divided by 5. So I want to look at my times table mat and I want to find the station that is closest to 13 without going over it, okay? So I can say there's 5, there's 10, there's 15. Oh, but 15 would be too far, so I need to go back to 10. And I can see that 2 times 5 is 10. So then in my head, if I got to a friendlier number, I'm going to count up from 10 to 13. So 10 in the head, 11, 12, 13. So my remainder is going to be 3. Now, boys and girls, pause the video and have a go at doing these questions on your own, and then we'll go over them together. Okay, so press play when you're ready. Right, so 13 divided by 5, well, we found out that that one was 2 remainder 3. Let's look at the next one now. 23 divided by 5. This time I'm going to use my fingers to help me. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. But 25 is too far. I've went over 23. So I've got 4 5s and 23. So I've got 4, but I only got to 20 there. So I need to find out, well, what's my remainder going to be? So I got to 20, going to count up to 23 now, 21, 22, 23. So my remainder is 3. Let's look at the next one, 27 divided by 5. Let's use the times table mat this time to help us. Let's see how close we can get to 27 without going over. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 would be too far. So I've got as close as 25. And I can see that 5 times 5 is 25. So it's going to be 5. But what's left over? 25 add what makes 27? 25 add 2 makes 27. So it's going to be 5 remainder 2. Let's look now at 14 divided by 5. Okay. So again, let's use our fingers for this one. Let's try and get as close to 14 as we can without going over it. So 5, 10, 15, 15's too far. So I got to 10, there are 2 5s in 10. And my remainder, well, 10 adds what makes 14? 10 adds 4 makes 14. And here we've got the last one. I've saved the trickiest one for last. And it's saying 56 divided by 5. How am I going to work this one out? Let's use an empty number line for this one. So excuse my bad drawing, boys and girls, I'm on my laptop. I'm going to have 0 at this end and 56 at this end. And let's see how I can do this with jumps of 5. So 1 jump of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, I'm almost halfway there, 30, 35. I bet your number lines look a lot better in this, boys and girls, if you've done one. You know I'm not the best at art. 40, 45, 50, 55. Could I keep going? Well, no, because then I would get to 60 and I was gone too far. So let's count how many jumps of 5 I actually did then. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11, but I need to remember I've got a remainder there. So 55 add what equals 56? 55, 56. Oh, 1. So it's 11 remainder 1. So boys and girls, I hope you got them all okay. If you find them quite tricky, I would like it if you just went back and tried them again, okay, using one of those strategies that we've talked about. Okay, so we're now going to be looking at the bus stop method and how we can use the bus stop method to help us with these division problems. So we don't always need to do arrays or groups or number lines. We can use the bus stop method instead. So our question here is 53 divided by 5. So this is actually quite an easy one to start off with. So remember that we're starting with the tens and then going on to the units. So we want to know what's 5 divided by 5. Let's check our maths. Oh, 1 times 5 equals 5. Easy. So we're going to write 1 above it. Now, this one's a wee bit trickier. 3 divided by 5. If I had 3 cookies and I shared them equally between 5 people, would anyone get a cookie? Would that be fair? No, no one would get any cookies, but I would have a remainder. What do you think my remainder would be? If I had 3 cookies and no one got a cookie, I'm going to be left with 3. So 53 divided by 5 is 10 remainder 3. And you can see that I have shown my remainder at the end of my sum by doing an R for remainder and then the number that is left over. Let's try another example. This time we've got 57 divided by 5. So I already know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. Easy peasy. Now I want to know, well, how many 5s are in 7? Okay, how many 5s are in 7? Let's use the times table math to help us. So we can see we've got 5, 10, oh, but 10 would be too far. So we can get to 5, so that's 1 times 5 equals 5. But then we need to think, well, I'm going to have a remainder, am I? If I had 7 cookies and I shared them between 5 people, everyone would get 1 cookie, but would have a leftover. How many would be left over? Got to 5, and there were 7 altogether, so 5 add on, 2. Okay, 5 add on 2 is 7, so your remainder's going to be 2. Now, I want you to have a go at this one on your own, boys and girls, so pause the video and have a look and see if you can do it on your own for me, and then press play when you're ready. So this time, I already know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. How many 5s are in 9? Well, there's definitely going to be 1 5. There won't be 2 because that would take me to 10. So I've got 1 and I'm going to have a remainder. What would my remainder be? Well, I know that I've got 5. I got up to 5. And 5 add what is 9? 5 add 4 is 9. So 4 is my remainder. Let's have a look at this next question, and again pause the video, boys and girls, to have a go on your own and press play when you're ready. So 55 divided by 2, I already know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. Are there any 5s in 2? If I had 2 cookies, could I split them equally between 5 people? Well, no, everyone would get no cookies then, but I would have how many left over? I would have 2 left over. Okay, so these are examples, boys and girls, where the remainder is at the end of a division sum. Now, we can also get questions where the remainder is in the middle of the sum, and let me show you how we would do that. So this time we're looking at how many 5s are there in 7. Okay, if I had 7 cookies and I split them between 5 people, how many would each person get? And the answer is 1. But what is my remainder? What is going to be left over? Well, if I had 7 cookies and I had 5 people and everyone got 1 cookie, well then that would be 5. And to get up to 7, I would have to add on 2. I would have 2 left over. Okay, so you show the remainder in the middle of the sum like that. Now this changes my question because I no longer just have 5 here, I now have 25. And I need to think, well, how many 5s are there in 25? I wonder if I can use my fingers to help me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So there are 5 5s and 25. So my answer is 15. And is there a remainder? There's no remainder. I don't have anything left over. So my answer is 15. Let's try another question where the remainder is in the middle. This time I've got 95 divided by 5. So I want to think, how many 5s are there in 9? There is 1 5 in 9. And 5 add what equals 9? What's my remainder going to be? 4. There's 4 left over. Now this changes my question. So now I have to think, well, what is 45 divided by 5? Let's see if I can use the multiplication mat to help me this time. So here's 45. 9 times 5 is 45. So the answer for this part is 9. So have I got a remainder this time? No, there's no remainder. So 95, sorry, I should say boys and girls. Let me just change that there. Didn't think that looked right. So 95 divided by 5 equals 19. Right, I've got another question. This time I want you to pause the video and have a go at it on your own. 65 divided by 5 this time. Okay, and play when you're ready. So how many 5s are in 6? Well, 1, 5 is in 6. I'm going to have 1 left over. And now I'm looking to say, well, how many 5s are in 15? 5, 10, 15. 3 5s are in 15. Am I going to have a remainder? No, I don't have a remainder this time. So 65 divided by 5 is 13. Got another question, and again, boys and girls, you can pause the video and give it a go on your own. We've got 75 divided by 5. I want to think, well, how many 5s are there in 7? Okay, there is 1 5 in 7. And how many would there be left over then? There would be 2 left over. And now I've got to know how many 5s are in 25. 5 5s are in 25. And do I have a remainder? Nope, I do not have a remainder. So my answer is 15. So boys and girls, I hope that's been useful for you. You're going to have a go at doing some questions from a TJ book today. You've got questions with the remainder at the end and in the middle. Okay, let me know how you get on with this, boys and girls. It can be a wee bit tricky at first, but try and use the strategies that I've spoken about to help you. Okay, bye for now.